is full of mysterious and magical items, some of which we understand,
but most of which we very much don't.
No. So which ones are the most confusing?
That's what we're exploring today.
Let's do it.
And at 10, the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones, or Infinity Gems, depending on what version you want to call them, are just 6 immensely gem-like objects that were created by the Big Bang from just singularities, each tied to a different aspect of the universe. Directly wielding the stones requires immense power, such as that possessed by Celestials, or I guess Thanos, but lesser beings who attempt to wield it face dire consequences. Johann Schmidt guarded the Soul Stone on Vormir after touching an active Tesseract. Jade Foster was sick after being exposed to the Aether, and I mean, Cranny exploded when she touched the Power Stone. But I mean, the real question is why? Placing the Infinity Stones inside of a container somehow lets you wield the stones without repercussions, despite you also not touching them, so how are you able to use them if they're just surrounded by metal? I don't exactly understand, but my real issue is, sure, they were created by the Big Bang, but how? Why? Why did the Big Bang go like, oh yeah, you know what, these 6 stones, these are the 6 elements of the universe, and those are the only elements that we're ever gonna know? That doesn't make sense. Why? I get that it's comics, blah, blah, come on, bro. God.
Number 9. All Black. For those who are unaware, the All Black Necrosword is one of the most powerful items in all of the Marvel Universe. What does it do? It allows those who wield it to create almost anything with it. It is actually a living, breathing sword, or weapon. The first symbiote to have been created by Null, the King in Black, the god of symbiotes. It is his weapon, but he is not the only one who has wielded it. For a while, this was the same weapon Gore the God Butcher used in the comics to slay any gods he came across as punishment for abandoning him and his family despite their initial belief and devotion to the gods. Having this weapon elevates you to a god level in terms of powers, and it is actually linked to an undead celestial. So yeah, not only powerful, but also for a long time a mystery to us until we learned of its true origin and connection to Null.
And it ate the 10 rings. These 10 rings held the souls of ancient cosmic warriors, each trapped in a phantasmal state within their respective ring. Additionally, each artifact contains a quarantined AI that activated when the rings were separated from their wielders, but these cylinders, or rings, arrived on Earth aboard a starship with a dude who sought refuge in a cave in China's Valley of Spirits after being mortally wounded by frightened locals. I mean, yeah, if a dude shows up in a spaceship, I'd be kinda scared too, not gonna lie. The Mandarin takes these rings and learns to harness their power, wearing them on each finger and then each of them giving him different abilities. When he wears all the rings together, the spirits within influence his thoughts, driving him to resurrect them. But yeah, where did these things really come from, and why are they so powerful? How can rings hold spirits of ancient warriors, and just what is their actual origin? They come out of nowhere. Like, what the hell? I don't get it. Sure, they have an explanation, but they also don't.
Number 7. Cosmic Cube. What is the Cosmic Cube exactly? Have you ever wondered? And is there just one? While in the MCU we know this item to be an all-powerful weapon, a source of basically limitless energy, in the comics there are multiple Cosmic Cubes. Where did they come from? Well, if you are exclusively an MCU fan, you might not know the answer to this question because we haven't actually met the alien race who made them, the all-powerful Beyonders, or at least, you know, their energy made them. You can make a Cosmic Cube yourself if you are able to open up a rift to a pocket dimension where the Beyonders stored sentient energy. As the energy moves into the earthly realm, it then manifests in the form of a perfect cube, hence Cosmic Cube. Cosmic Cubes can shapeshift into living beings, and if you happen to be skilled enough with one, you can actually use a Cosmic Cube to rewrite reality. Whoa.
And it's 6, Necro Sword. Don't worry, I'm talking about the MCU one. The Necro Sword is a sword created just... Honestly, I don't remember much of the Thor movie. You heard Amanda talk about it already, but my question is, where does it come from in the MCU, okay? Like, there is no Null in this universe, or at least that we know of. We only know that when Tom Holland's gonna have to fight Venom, it's gonna be because of the Eddie Brock from the Venomverse that brought it over during No Way Home, and then was never in the movie until the end credits where he was sent back and just dropped a little bit of it. So yeah, unless that ends up being Null or ends up being All Black, then there's no real god of symbiotes. Even if that is what happens, why is it that the sword exists before or after this? It's like there's no chicken and the egg thing here. It's not, come on. Come on.
Number 5. Ebony Blade. For fans of Black Knight, this artifact and weapon might not be a mystery, but at the same time, Black Knight is not the most popular character Marvel has. Also, what is happening with our MCU Black Knight, by the way? Weren't we supposed to get like a show or a film with this character? Apparently, last year Kit Harington sat down with The Hollywood Reporter in November to discuss another project, and the conversation turned to Marvel and Kit's portrayal of Dane Whitman. Dane Whitman is the hero we come to know in the comics as the Black Knight, who through his ancestry inherits a powerful weapon and with it, a curse. This weapon is known as the Ebony Blade, and is the source of Dane's power as Black Knight, and his corruption. It was teased during the post-credits in Eternals, but we still have yet to see Harington in action wielding the sword as the Black Knight, and in that interview they basically asked him about it, and he was just like, yeah, I don't really know what's happening with that. Are we getting it? I don't know. Marvel, respond in the comments, please.
And for All Blood is a spear, I'm pretty sure. It's a different thing, okay? It's the Necro Spear, and is a divine weapon crafted by Drorin Runehuer and Carnage. I doubt I said that name right. I mean, the first one, I know I said Carnage right, but oh well. Using all black, the Necrosword as its template, granting Carnage power akin to that of Null. Reanimated by Null, Cletus Cassidy sought to seize the Dark God's power and become a god of destruction, but Eddie Brock foiled his plans. Undeterred, Cletus devised a new scheme to become a god butcher himself, corrupting stranded symbiotes on Earth and assimilating the Extreme Biote, because of course that's what it's called. However, he eventually abandoned his ambitions for godhood, leading to a rift between him and the Carnage symbiote. The All-Blood Necrospear was a manifestation of Carnage's quest for godlike power and destruction, but it ultimately led to a reckoning between Cletus and the symbiote's malevolent influence. As the forces of divine might have clashed, it still doesn't explain why they made a spear. Like, come on, there was already a sword. You just wanted your own thing. You're not original, okay? You're not cool. I mean, Carnage is cool, but like, you're not cool for making this. You're cool for being Carnage. So yeah, there you go.
Number 3. Black Vortex. The Black Vortex is an interesting object that has really only appeared a few times in the comics. I really love the design of this one personally. The Black Vortex made its first appearance in the Legendary Star-Lord series in issue number 5. It is a mirror which shows whoever gazes into it what they could be like if the full potential of their powers was realized. Imagining me with like flame hair or something like that. If you gaze into the mirror and then speak the words, "I submit to the Black Vortex," the power that you see reflected back at you will be granted to you. So for me, I would have flame hair. This is the powerful artifact that Kitty Pryde, aka Kate Pryde, once used to unlock her own cosmic potential, allowing her to use her own phasing powers to phase the entire planet of Spartax out of an amber encasing that the planet and its inhabitants found themselves instantly imprisoned in. Terrible.
But ultimately, in at number 2, Fake Gauntlet. Okay, the fake Infinity Gauntlet was a recreation of the actual Infinity Gauntlet that was kept inside of Odin's vault in the MCU. A right-handed replica of the Infinity Gauntlet, complete with replicas of the Infinity Stones, was kept in Odin's vault that was guarded by the Destroyer. In 2017, during her takeover of Asgard, Hela came across the gauntlet and declared it to be a fake, knocking it off its pedestal. The gauntlet was eventually destroyed during Ragnarok. However, the issue here is that the Infinity Gauntlet didn't even exist at the time of Ragnarok, or if it did, it had only been made recently, since we see the aftermath of Thanos' visit to Nidavellir in Infinity War. So the reason I'm saying that this is mysterious is because it doesn't make sense to have existed. You could say that it was because of like the Avengers end credits, but that end credits could take place at any time. So how the hell did Odin get a version of the Infinity Gauntlet when there wasn't even a normal Infinity Gauntlet?
And finally, in at number 1, Astral Regulator. The Astral Regulator is super mysterious. It has only appeared twice, I believe, in the comics. It made its first appearance in Thanos the Infinity Conflict issue number 1 back in 2018. If the Infinity Gems/Stones existence and power blew your mind, wait till you hear about the Astral Regulators. Each universe is believed to have one, and the Astral Regulators were created directly by the One Above All, basically the Marvel Multiverse's version of God. The One Above All created said regulators to prevent universes from colliding into one another. I wonder why they made that. These artifacts as such are heavily guarded, being stored in hazardous places where almost anything would die. As such, protecting anyone, or most beings at least, from getting to them. Thanos, however, once managed to get to one and was able to take within himself the power of some of Marvel's most important cosmic beings. So that's how bad it is if you let a villain get a hand on this Astral Regulator, or one of them, because there's many. Ah!
That's all for this one though.
Until next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube.
Bye.